We're at Target right now, and there's a lot of controversy going on about all of the Pride stuff that's coming out with kids' clothes and things like that. So we're gonna go to the kids section, and we're actually going to see if they're putting weird, creepy, uncomfy stuff on children's clothing. Okay, this is the child section. This is literally the kids section. I'm next to a literal onesie that says whatever the hell that means. We have "Glad You Came Out" and "I'm So Happy That You're Queer" in the kids section. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but pride and toddler don't belong in the same sentence. So I found an extra small swimsuit in the child section. It says light binding effect on it. And then the bottoms in the kids section, keep in mind, say tuck friendly construction. They're giving it to your kids. If that doesn't give you a reason to boycott Target, I don't know what does. But this shit's getting out of hand. They're targeting children, whether you like it or not. And it's time that people actually do something about it. Because if they don't, then guess what? That shit won't just be in Target, it'll be in every store, ever.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're living in a crazy timeline, guys. As, once again, we got to talk about the most successful boycott in history. Talking about Bud Light here. But not specifically talking about Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch in regards to the company that has been affected. We're actually talking about Target, who is panicking in fears of what they see as could potentially be a Bud Light situation, a Bud Light-esque boycott in regards to impact on their bottom line. Because allegedly, they are holding an emergency meeting over LGBTQ merchandise that is being sold in stores. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the story, I'm pretty sure you are familiar with it. There is a call for a conservative boycott against Target because Target is selling LGBTQ pride clothes, paraphernalia for children. Take a look.
POV, you take your kid to Target.
This is cool. Queen. Queens take care of each other. Mom says I'm supposed to be more organized. Can I work on this for my reading log? Perfect for our beach vacation. Dad, can we pull out your CD player? Fit for anyone and everyone? Let's get this for Mom. Live, laugh, Lebanese. Trains and people will always exist.
That's not what it says.
Why would Target hire a Satanist to design their new Pride collection that has now gone viral? This is the designer. This is not a boy. This is a biological woman who has transitioned, who is a Satanist, who Target actually paid and sought out to design the collection. A part of the collection is this t-shirt that says "Cure Transphobia, Not Trans People," this fanny pack that says "We Belong Everywhere," and this bag along with a couple of other items. But what really disturbs me is the fact that Target hired someone who is a Satanist. This is spiritual warfare. This is good versus evil happening in our country. And this t-shirt right here says it all. Satan respects pronouns. Now, if you look at a lot of the other artwork on the page, it's very sparkly, pastel, cute, very much if a little kid saw this, they would want it. So if you think they're not targeting your kids, make sure that you check again because they definitely are. And honestly, this just makes me so upset. It makes me sick to my stomach knowing that there are Satanists infiltrating culture. And yet they have the audacity to say that Christians are shoving the Bible down everyone's throats.
Yeah, so that's one side of the story. Now, the other side of the story says that the backlash against Target is unwarranted because this stuff is only in the adult section only. This is what they claim.
Okay, so I'm back in the Target Pride section because I've seen this stupid stuff about the bathing suits again. This is again in the adult section, not the kids section. These swimsuits are adult size swimsuits. Same with these adult sizes. Now, what they have here, designed for comfort and confidence, it says it's tuck friendly and extra crotch comfort. And I'm here to show you what that means. The crotch isn't any thicker. It's just a bit wider. See? It's just a normal bathing suit. It's just a bit wider. More modest, if you would say. And I do have my underwear underneath there. There's nothing horrible. This is very well covered. Not necessarily a look that's flattering on me, but, you know, there's nothing offensive about this other than the fact that obviously I'm cold. And for this bikini top, it says that it has a light binding effect, which basically means your boobs don't project as much. Again, more modest. So this is a size medium. This is an extra small bottom. So obviously this is not for a child. I am a 34 CD, and you can see that this flattens it out. And look, you can't even tell I'm cold. If you want to compare the effect, here's a profile in this swimsuit, and you can compare it to my profile in this swimsuit.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? I try to show both sides, right? So people can, not say I'm biased about this. But yeah, there's some people that are saying, look, Target is selling LGBTQ merchandise and paraphernalia and clothing to children, okay? Here it is. Here's the children's section. This is what they're selling to kids, okay? They're pushing an agenda. And then you have some other people who seem to be pro-LGBTQ saying, no, this stuff is not being pushed on children. It's only being sold in the adult section. Now, my guess is that what's being sold in what section probably varies based off your Target location, okay? And some Target locations are panicking because of the backlash that they are receiving for Target selling this stuff and it going viral on the internet. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this because Target is trying to play both sides here, okay? And this is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. So without further ado, let's get into it. Some southern Target stores were forced by the corporation to move LGBTQ pride merchandise away from the front of their locations after customer outrage to avoid, quote, a Bud Light situation. It's crazy how we've now coined the term Bud Light situation, right, to be synonymous with boycott, right, which tells you how successful the boycott has been. Many Target locations across the country feature massive June Pride Month displays on an annual basis with items this year ranging from, quote, tuck-friendly bathing suits for transgender people to mugs that say, quote, gender fluid. But the retail juggernaut has been criticized by some conservatives for the displays with children's items particularly irking many customers. Yeah, again, a lot of people don't care too much about this when it's marketed towards adults, right? But the children is where a lot of people cross the line, okay? I don't know why corporate America and schools don't understand this. A Target insider told Fox News Digital that many locations, mostly in rural areas of the South, have relocated pride sections to avoid the kind of backlash Bud Light has received in recent weeks after using a transgender influencer in a promotional campaign. A Target insider said there were emergency calls on Friday and that some managers and district senior directors were told to tamp down the pride sections immediately. Quote, we were given 36 hours, told to take all of our pride stuff, the entire section, and move it into a section that's a third the size. From the front of the store to the back of the store, you can't have anything on mannequins and no large signage, the Target insider said. So they basically moved it to where they sell the the stuff that nobody wants, right? Again, they don't want to have it out in front of people, okay? But they don't necessarily want to not try to sell it. They're just going to move it to the back where nobody goes or where less people go and hope to sell something. Amazing. Quote, we call our customers guests. There is outrage on their part this year. It is just exponentially more than any other year. The Target insider continued, quote, I think given the current situation with Bud Light, the company is terrified of a Bud Light situation, as they should be, right? As they should be. Like, that is the point of the Bud Light boycott, is to deter other companies from doing it, that make them think twice, right? So again, that's why it's important to not stop the Bud Light, right, controversy, and to continue to hold strong on the Bud Light situation, because again, it's going to show people that, hey, if you become unlucky enough to be subject to this type of boycott, right, because you want to be woke, then be prepared to deal with the consequences permanently. The insider, who has worked at the retailer for almost 2 decades, said Target rarely makes such hasty decisions. They said Friday's call began with roughly 10 minutes of, quote, how to deal with team member safety because the amount of backlash the Pride merchandise has generated, noting that Target, Asset Protect, and corporate security teams were present on the call. Quote, the call was super quick. It was 15 minutes. The first 10 minutes was about how to keep your team safe and not having to advocate for Target. The last 5 was, quote, move this to the back, take down the mannequins, and remove the signage, the insider said, noting that bathing suits have replaced Pride merchandise in front of store displays despite Pride Month not even started until June 1st. Yeah, that's the crazy part. You're seeing so much of this even before Pride Month, like even before June 1st. These companies are going ham. It's everywhere. Okay, they started this early. Okay, imagine how ridiculous it's going to be in July, right? In July is going to be insane. Quote, it's all under the guise of trying to increase swim sales, the insider said. Everyone was like, quote, thank God, because we're all on the front lines dealing with it. Target did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Fox News Digital has confirmed rural Target stores in South Carolina, Arkansas, and Georgia are among the locations to move the Pride sections. Most rank and file employees were left in the dark, with many not knowing the Pride sections would be moved until they noticed it themselves. Pride merchandise remains prominently displayed at other locations and on the Target website. Target Pride merchandise includes female-style swimsuits that can be used to tuck male genitalia. Some products are also labeled as, quote, thoughtfully fit on multiple body types and gender expressions. Pride merchandise also includes onesies and rompers for newborn babies, a variety of adult clothing with slogans such as super queer, party supplies, home decor, multiple books, and a, quote, grow at your own pace saucer planter. Yeah. So again, this is not good for Target. Right. However, Target CEO is actually coming out and defending some of their kid-friendly clothing amid boycott calls. Surprisingly, again, so it seems like they're trying to play both sides here. They're saying in the South, we're going to move the stuff back to the back, but we're going to come out here at a national level and stand with the woke radical agenda. So let's read here. Target's top executive dismissed the social media uproar over the retailer's new line of LGBTQ plus friendly kids clothing, saying that marketing the products are good for business and the right thing for society. Here we go. Stakeholder capitalism. Once again, right? Or as you guys like to say, right? They're trying to increase their ESG score, right? Because, allegedly that is what a lot of this is about. Okay. It's about increasing their ESG scores. Outraged shoppers posted videos and images on social media showing bathing suits that offer, quote, extra crotch coverage as well as rainbow colored onesies for infants and children. Other offerings that raised conservatives' hackles included t-shirts that say proud adult drag queen, Katya, trans people will always exist, and girls, gays, theys. On Fortune's Leadership Next podcast last week, Target CEO Brian Cornell was asked about the backlash to woke capitalism, which has engulfed iconic beer brand Bud Light as well as entertainment giant Disney. Quote, I think those are just good business decisions and it's the right thing for society and it's the great thing for our brand. The executive whose company employs more than 450,000 workers in more than 1,900 locations nationwide said that the company's strategy is aimed to cater to a diversifying customer base. Quote, the things we've done from DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion standpoint, it's adding value. It's helping us drive sales. It's building greater engagement with both our teams and our guests. And those are just the right things for our business today. A spokesperson for the company told the Associated Press that the tuck-friendly swimsuits are only offered in adult sizes and that kids collection does not feature the label. Quote, when we think about purpose at Target, it's really about helping families, all the families, and that all word is really important. Okay, so they're basically giving the woke, again, stakeholder capitalist explanation for this, saying that, well, this is helping us increase sales, right? It's helping us increase sales because, Gen Z, they are overwhelmingly either LGBTQ themselves, okay, 1 out of 5, or they support LGBTQ. And I guess the way they're looking at it from a woke capitalism standpoint is that, well, these are the consumers of tomorrow, some of them today, and they're overwhelmingly LGBTQ friendly, which means that the next generation after Gen Z probably is going to be LGBTQ friendly as well. And they could be thinking that parents are buying these clothes for their LGBTQ children. Again, I think that's kind of what the thought process here is. And they think that conservatives and people with common sense in this country are supposed to just go along and support this agenda that clearly is rapidly increasing the amount of young people in this country that are LGBTQ at an unnatural rate. Most of America shops at Target, so we want to do the right thing to support families across the country. Again, what happened to supporting all families with just regular clothes, right? I'm not sure you're supporting all families with trans options, right? Target's line of trans options promoted on his website ahead of next month's Pride Month sparked even more fury because it targets kids. Cornell added, quote, "I know that focus on diversity and inclusion and equity has fueled much of our growth over the last 9 years." Yeah, so you know, while Target is sticking with this, right? Apparently, at least in some locations, maybe not so much in the South, Bud Light is trying to do damage control, okay? They have actually started buying back beers that have not been sold, okay? Because they're out of date, right? People can't really drink them. They're not good products anymore. So they're buying them back. They're doing all types of advertising and stuff like that. But it does not seem to be working as the sales have fallen in the 20, 25, 30% range for like a 6 straight week. And it doesn't look like that boycott is letting up. Now, will this boycott against Target be just as effective? I'm not sure, right? Maybe on a national level, not so much, but definitely on an individual store level, particularly in places that are more conservative. Yeah, you can definitely do some damage to Target at an individual store level if this boycott goes as hard as the Bud Light boycott. But we will see. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.